Oh, hey guys! Welcome to Samiah Week here on the Boston Chris podcast. Man, guys, I am so super blessed and honored to get to chat with artists from all genres, all styles, all walks of entertainment. And we are super stoked to get to chat with Samiah today. Now, I got to tell you a little bit of a backstory about Samiah, how I was able to get on her radar, or she on my radar. My wife found her through her TikTok algorithm, and thank God she did, because I absolutely love Samiah. I love her music. I love the emotion she invokes within her genre, which is, gosh, it's so hard to even tell what genre she is. Somewhere between hard rock and heavy metal, I suppose, with some pop punk mixed in somewhere in there. But I'm really excited to show you guys Samiah today. But before we do, I want you guys to make sure you hit that like button wherever you're watching from. That really helps us do more. If you want to see more candid interviews from all kinds of artists right here on the show, you can, of course, hit the follow or subscribe button. And I want you guys to comment down below your favorite part of this episode of the Boston Chris podcast. But let me tell you a little bit about Samiah. Hailing from Washington, D.C., Samiah is a 2024 D.C. Whammy Music Awards winner for Best Hard Rock Metal Artist Group. This up-and-coming rock artist frontwoman has a penchant for writing infectious tunes and relatable narratives. Inspired by internationally acclaimed artists like Evanescence, Incubus, and 10 Years, Samiah's music journey began as a way to express nuanced emotions through music, where words fail. Being an avid storyteller, Samiah is greatly influenced by real life, drawing inspiration for her music from personal experiences and hardships, allowing her to invoke strong emotions in people. And apart from invoking emotions, Samiah also seems to have a unique, innate competency to ingeniously present music in multiple styles, as we said earlier, all while maintaining a consistent brand. One of the factors that make this artist one to keep an eye on. Leading her band with the same name, Samiah, this empowering female musician seeks to positively influence society with her music and is well on her way to becoming one of the most phenomenal artists in our generation. Guys, I'm so stoked to present this in-depth, candid conversation with my new buddy, Samiah. Y'all check it out right here.
Hey there, it is Mike Tramp, known from once being in Wildline, Freak of Nature, and all of the above. You are, of course, both listening and watching the Boston Chris Show. What could be better?
Hey guys, another fabulous episode of the Boston Chris podcast. You guys are in season 2 now, and season 2, episode 2 here with Samiah. Am I saying that right? Is it Samiah or Samiah? I want to make sure I'm saying
Samiah.
it right.
That's right.
I figured as much, and I was just telling Samiah off air that my wife is a huge fan of hers, and by proxy, I am now too. And we're going to be chatting with everything that makes her tick today. But before we get started, we do have a couple of songs that we're going to add as kind of like bread to the interview sandwich. And these are, I think I have chosen both acoustic songs. I'm not sure, though. I know the first one is The Flower and the Serpent, though. Tell us about this song.
Yes. Okay. So this particular song, I think this was written like just maybe a hair post-pandemic. So I didn't really know what it was about at the time that I wrote it, but I kind of like, when I write stuff, I kind of like hear melodies in my head, and I knew that I wanted it to be, I think at the time I was thinking I wanted to write like, not necessarily like Dance Gavin Dance-ish, but I really was kind of probably like listening to some like older 2000s melodies. I was like, I kind of want to do something. And then like I started to get the idea of like da 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 da, and I was like, oh, I really do like this. I don't know what it's gonna be yet, But then when I started writing, and like we kind of came together with my best friend Jabari, who I kind of write stuff. We've been writing for a really long time now. I can't believe we've been friends for like over a decade. Can you imagine knowing someone for that long? Maybe some people can't, but like
yeah,
we've
I
been,
can.
like,
I'm old. You're not old, but I am.
Like, I was
so.
like, oh my god, like we've been writing like since like high school, like in like teenagers in the hallways together. So like he heard it, he was like, no, I got something. So we came up with that together, and then I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I came up with like that bridge for like da 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 da, and I was like, yeah, this is something. And I suppose now that I think about what the lyrics are, it's really kind of more pointing at like the duality of man.
Yeah.
Kind of like it really is more like your choice. Like it depends on like the choices in life, whether you're, you know, the flower or the serpent, and you have to pick that path. But also, I think what helped me kind of solidify the lyrics truly is because I was a bit of a nerd, which probably shows sometimes lyrically. But
I love that though, right? Like, that's amazing.
So I really solidified it because I really like Macbeth by Shakespeare.
Sure. Yeah.
So it was one of my favorites from him that I read. And there's a line in there where like Lady Macbeth says, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. And that's kind of where I was able to sort of tie everything together.
That's amazing. So melodically first, lyrically second, but you were inspired by a lyric from essentially, you know, one of the best poets of all time. So incredible stuff, man. I can't wait to pick your brain about your songwriting. You know, you just alluded a little bit to it, but let's show folks the song. It's The Flower and the Serpent from Samiah. Yo, check it out.
When you smile and entertain the crowd, I can't help but notice doesn't meet the eyes. A flash, camera's got your tongue again, paralyzed in poise. Your mask becomes a shroud, it hides the rot. Appearances are everything, cleverly disguised, as if you had it all. Did you really think I would dance? No. Oh, I know. Constant adoration, not enough to hide this cage. The flower is the serpent, beautiful and harrowing lie. Lie. When you speak, the sound is almost heavenly, but my intuition tells me something's wrong. You size me up and imitate formalities, hide away inside with parasitic worms. Did you really think I would dance? No. Oh, I know. Constant adoration.
right, so we are back again. I'm so stoked to have you here for the first time, and we have a bit of an icebreaker question to get us started, and that is, what are your favorite drinks right now? What are you drinking lately?
Haha. Favorite drinks. Water, because I'm supposed to.
Right,
Like, favorite drinks. Okay, so if I had to really choose, I'm such a child, and I feel like embarrassed to say this, but like I really like apple juice.
There's nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I thought you were going to say Capri Sun there for a minute.
No, I like those too. Like, what?
Oh my gosh, that's great, man.
I
Apple
do.
juice
One
and
time,
Capri
Jabari and I,
Sun.
oh, there's a cat. One time I had Jabari and I, like, after a show, we were just like, should we get, like, Capri Suns? We just bought a box. I'm like, Janko.
That's what's up, man. Shoot. We had somebody recently say that he drinks his whiskey out of a sippy cup. Oh, man. It's so funny. Man, I love this show so much. Yeah, so we're here with Samiah, and correct me if I'm wrong, did you grow up in the D.C. area?
I did. Born and raised. I'm still here now.
Wow. So what was that like, kind of growing up in that part of the country?
For me, it was just normal. Like all my family kind of lived together. We kind of did like a generational housing thing. So I stayed in the house with like my grandma, my aunts, all my cousins. So I never had like no people to play with. We were just all together. We even all went to like school together, walked to school together, and came home together. And it's really funny because you think, I was like, when I was little, I was like, oh, I can't wait to like not be around you guys anymore. There's too many of us. I'm tired of like doing all the things with you. You're always near me. But now as an adult, you're like, oh, I miss you guys.
Yeah,
all,
you
like,
hate being
separated.
alone now, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm the opposite. I grew up an only child, so I was always alone. And so then, like, when you get older and you start having kids and having a bigger family, man, it's tough. Like sharing your chips with somebody, or, you know, just like little stuff like that you're used to, right? Like you're fighting over those chips with other people. Me, I'm just like, they're mine. And so, like, I've been married for 10 years now, and like this is the first time in my life that I've wanted to share my food with somebody else without like getting really uptight about it. So. Yeah, it's cool how we're raised. So you were kind of raised with that tribal mentality, like all for one, and instead of one just all for yourself. So how's music finding you as a kid?
Oh, so I had this on another podcast, but the truth of the matter is like it's all media, and that sounds really funny, but like I was again kind of nerdy, so like I would watch like just. It was in anything. If I was playing a video game, if I was playing like SmackDown, wrestling is probably a big one. We used to watch wrestling a lot with my cousins. So like all of the intro themes, like I remember we used to play like the Batista theme in the basement because one of my cousins plays bass. I used to be on guitar back then. But yeah, I would watch like, I think back then we had Toonami, like anime stuff. So we would like listen to that. And if you listen to a lot of that, there's like Linkin Park in there, Disturbed. There's so many different like medias. But yeah, in which case, that's how I started. And I think I was listening to Good Charlotte in video games at like 8.
Yeah.
And then that's how I discovered Saliva 2 from the same games. Like I've listened to so many bands.
How many influences are you gaining from the other people in your life? Because you talk about, being around your family all the time. I imagine you're probably learning of artists and music from them as well, right?
Probably so, but not really. I think I was probably the black sheep of the family in that case. I was very different than everybody else. I was really totally into a whole different set of things that they really didn't quite understand. But for me, it just resonated like immediately. I was like, this I love. Like I didn't care if it was like the early 2000s, like emo stuff. If it was like old stuff that I kind of just stumbled upon, like Meshuggah, like I was like into it, like,
yeah. That's what's up. So how are you finding your voice, right? Because like you're influenced by music, but man, as a fan of yours, you just have fantastic vocals. And
thank you.
So I'm curious, like, when are you starting that? When are you like turning from a music fan to more of a musician and a vocalist?
I actively avoided that for several years.
Really?
Probably not until, because when I first started, I was a guitar player and I was like, I don't want to sing. I hate singing. But then I kind of ended up singing when I finally discovered it, probably around like 18 or so. Like I used to sing to myself, but I kind of really discovered that other people thought I could sing around 17, 18.
Right.
and it quickly outpaced like my guitar skill, and I was like, oh no, I guess I sing now.
So it's just essentially a talent level thing.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, I guess I'm a singer.
Well, I know a lot of times like guitar players won't sing because of a can't to, right? Like it's hard to do both at once, right?
I can't. I still can't. So
Yeah.
like you only get one or the other, and I'm fully planning on lying to people when they say, "Can you play guitar?" I'm fully planning to be like, "No." So they don't ask me to do both.
Yeah, I'm just a vocalist now.
Yeah, no.
And instead of saying you quit playing guitar, just say you retired, right?
I'll just say it's retired. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if a guitar. I don't know what that is.
It just sounds better that way, right?
Yeah, it's way easier.
So are you writing songs like even before you become a vocalist? Because you just said you're a guitarist first. So like, are you as you learn to play guitar, is the whole like want to behind that ultimately to write a song?
No, I think that what happened when I started, because I was really more interested in lead. Like I started as a blues player.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I was more interested in like lead. And so I didn't really care even too much about chords. But then when I kind of just played myself, I have a lot of like really ugly baby recordings that will die that no one will ever hear. But from when I started playing guitar.
So what you do with those, right? You have to keep them around, and then when you become famous, you leak them to TMZ for millions of dollars.
Oh God, no! Jabari has instructions to destroy them upon my head. God, no. God, no.
That's amazing stuff. So how are you getting into songwriting then?
By kind of joking around and playing songs at home. I played them for some people. Jabari still loves them because he's like weird. And then, but like, he's like, no, you're so baby here. It was like a lot of like little baby Evanescence-esque songs too. And I was like, ew. Now that I hear it, I'm like, disgusting. Anyways, but
yeah, but you have to evolve from somewhere, right? And
that's true.
Yeah, so it's I think as a fan of music, somebody who's talked to a butt ton of songwriters, I feel like it's important to have those bad songs, right? Those early on songs that you can look back to. That's why you never need to delete them, right?
I haven't deleted them.
Well, you probably won't either, to be fair.
No, but there's still a kill button that I haven't decided. There might be.
But I mean, now that you have written really good songs, that's me saying that, not you. Do you sometimes think back to those early days and how much better you have become?
I do. I really think that you're right. I had to get through the bad songs to get to good ones. Like that's just the common truth. And I like that I learned more because I used to be really objective in lyrics. And I think, believe it or not, this is going to sound really, really weird, but I started learning how to project myself into my lyrics a lot more. Like when I started writing The Flower and the Serpent and things like that, because I was listening to a lot of pop punk, like just old pop punk stuff, whether it was, Good Charlotte. I was listening to even maybe a few of the modern ones. Like there's a band called Water Parks that I was listening to at the time. And I was like, this guy, I think his name is like Austin Knight. And I was like, how does he like do this? How does he like project? Like, I wish I could write in a way that like gives my actual feelings and still poetic, you know what I mean? So, and that's really listening to him and like a lot of the older stuff. I kind of learned to, especially Green Day was thrown in there too, for like just like how do I tell a story while also like still being poetic,
staying within that genre, right?
Yeah. So it was really, really cool, and that I learned that from them, I would say.
And yeah, that's definitely one of my notes here. I love how you're checking off my notes. Because that is definitely something that makes you very unique as an artist, is somebody who's within a rock genre. It really doesn't matter which genre of rock it is, but also showing vulnerability, showing emotion, telling a story. Like that's not necessarily a thing that does well in a rock genre, right?
No, I wouldn't say so, but there are so many people who can do it in such a good way.
Absolutely.
That they're definitely worth like paying attention to. And it's not easy. It is kind of like in a way your own mental block as to how you can do it. But once you get past that, I think everything gets a lot better.
So why, like you obviously know that it's a challenge to be successful in telling a story within your genre. So why is it still important to you to do that?
I think because in truth, the bands that I love do that. And for me, a lot of people, like you stated, I guess anyone who knows me knows I was a music fan before, like, music.
Sure.
And I try to make sure that I write things that not so much that people can relate to, because it's not truly the goal ultimately, but just that they can understand what I'm saying, and maybe try, to relate to
or
it, because
feel something, right? Like
feel
you want,
something.
yeah, you want
They
them
can
to
feel what
feel.
I'm feeling.
Right.
You know what I mean? In which case, there's a lot of bands that I like look up to, that I would call my influences, that do that in like the simplest ways. Like Brandon Boyd from Incubus, the way he writes is just, I don't know. This man has the easiest way to write things beautifully, and he has 1,000 ways to say the word beautiful, or like, and it's really cool. I also really, really like the band 10 Years, because Chevelle, bands like that, like they say their feelings in a way that's very similar to how I try to tell my stories, and I want it to be something that stands for something in most of the ways, like unless it's like a really angry song, just like kind of explain to people like how to get yourself and lift yourself up out of something. And that's usually where I am. I think that like my songs I write mostly to make myself feel better about something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
therapy.
so
Yeah.
it's like, so for me it's more therapeutic, and I'm just hoping that you hear that in them. And with the Fly and the Serpent, I've been really lucky for a lot of people to come up to me and say, hey, I listened to this song, The Bad Moment, and I totally get it. And so for me, it is a specific thing, but for you, it could be something else. And I love that ability. You know what I mean? Where it's like, this helped you through a separate thing than what I was feeling, but you still felt that and were able to carry it on and make yourself feel better.
Being able to resonate in more than one way with the same song, right? Like,
I try to
what
do
you're
that.
talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
And so it basically boils down to, the content you were listening to coming up in music made you feel something. So now as an artist, that's what you're going towards. You want to make people feel something too with your content. Man, I love that. It all comes down to who you're influenced by and all of that stuff. So we talked about Washington, D.C. I've never been to the D.C. area when it comes to a music thing, right? So what's the music scene like in D.C.?
So as someone who's getting back into it for the first time, it's very interesting. I've played a few small shows now, and I'm excited. I'm finally kind of like knocking the dust off. I don't think I've played in like 2 years almost. So there's definitely pockets of like little metal that I'm trying to like get into, and like, because I have newer stuff that's probably a little heavier that I'm excited about. But for the most part, I do think that it could use a bit more rock in DC itself. I think that I'm finding that a lot of the heavier stuff is like out in like Baltimore, Maryland, or Virginia.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, and then those two areas are not too far either. So I was stationed in Norfolk for a while, so I know how close everything is around there. It only takes a couple of hours, one way or the other, to get to a completely different area. I feel like the old days, quote unquote, the best way to get heard was by live performances, right? And I mean, we're talking about pre-social media, pre-algorithm, pre-YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff. Today, it's a little bit different, right? Live performance, I feel, is still important at times, but with social media and with the DIY era and all of that stuff, you can get heard in different ways. And that's ultimately how I got onto your radar as well. So is there a strategy behind that for you as an artist?
No, that's really funny. I mean, a little bit. Okay, so let me explain how this happened. I was never going to post that clip of that song. I just got really bored, and I was like, I never do anything on TikTok. Let me just throw it here. And that happened. And now it's at like 300K views. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Now people know who I am. But, it's a good thing too, because I've always kind of been into like making sure that I had to take a class to learn how to like advertise my music and kind of get it out. I don't do that on TikTok, and didn't do that. So that was actually just like pure luck, to be honest. But I have always done that through like Facebook, Instagram, and I'm always advertising my music even while I sleep. So there's fans developing even in Texas and other places that like I didn't really think would happen. But I think in the last year, because I think I started last year in April, really kind of taking the social media thing seriously, and it's just grown beyond a point that I thought it would. You know, you think maybe a couple of people will like it, but having over 300K people like view a video and is more than I ever thought would happen to me.
Man, I love that, again, checking off my checklist over here, talking about selling yourself, right? It sounds so barbaric, right? But it's so needed nowadays. Like, you do need to sell yourself as an artist. I think what I love about you is how unique you are in so many different ways. You look different, you sound different. I think that's why that clip resonated with so many people. Are you playing that up? Or are you trying to play that down? Like, how do you take that reaction in?
Well, so I think as someone who's like always kind of shied away from the spotlight is a little funny.
Yeah.
But like it's a little funny.
You wanted to be a lead player, not the vocalist.
Yeah,
right?
I didn't want to be I didn't want to do this.
Yep.
So it's really funny. I'm actually really loving it, you know, and I think, sure, you know, people don't expect it to come from me, but I'm also not like used to music. Like I went to school for music. It's just that I never thought people would care, you know what I mean? So it's just interesting. I feel like as far as people not expecting it to come from me, I would say that was a whole journey. Trust me. When you go to music school, you get lost and trust me. And I was there, I was like, why am I here? Like, I don't sound like any of these people.
Right.
I don't like, I'm not a top 40s writer. I don't understand like what am I doing? And so that was really hard for me. And my vocal lesson teacher is probably the one who kept me sane, because she was like, no, you're unique enough to be here. Like, understand that you're here for a reason. And I was like, you know, I'm not Billie Eilish. I'm not those people. Like, I'm just here, you know, like, but it was hard. Yeah.
You truly are incredible. I love just everything about you.
Thank you.
And you just play that up as much as you can, how unique you are, you know, how you look, how you sound. It's needed in the genre big time. I have a bunch of friends that are in a band, or used to be in a band called Post Profit. And they're like metalcore and just, you know, from East Texas and stuff. And they struggled with the same thing, not looking the part. And they ended up going on tour with huge names. So just stay at it and don't let anybody beat you down. You know what I'm saying? I love that
I don't think I can let it, because I think so. The thing about music school is like there's really nothing you can say or do to me that can actually hurt my feelings now.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because I saw some of the comments on that video, right? Like there's just ugly people out there, right?
Yeah. At this point, like having to claw back your identity from music school is such a much harder task than someone being like, you can't sing or you can't. I'm like, and that's probably, I went to one of the biggest music schools in the world. I mean, if I couldn't sing, I wouldn't have been there. So like, you don't know what you're talking about. Or they're like, oh, you should do another genre. Well, they made me do that in school, and to be honest, I sucked at those. So I think I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, you can't snuff out somebody's creative process, right?
You can't. Like,
you are who you are, and that's just the way it is, right?
I think my favorite one was like, it doesn't fit you, and I was like, that's funny because I wrote it.
Right.
So I was like,
So what did you go to school for specifically?
So I went to school for vocal performance at Berkeley.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love your vocals so much. And we talk about that a lot on this show, is kind of vocals as an instrument, right? And a lot of people don't know the importance of that, and you went to school for it. So, and obviously that's one of the things that makes you so freaking awesome is your vocals. So talk about your vocals as an instrument and the strategy behind, you know, how to deliver a lyric, how to make somebody feel with that instrument.
Oh, sure. So vocals as an instrument, for one, take care of it. So smoking, drinking, all that good stuff, I don't do.
Right.
So it's like, you know, I've always been kind of wary of like notes and things like that. So that's important. Vocal notes aren't fun, kids. Anyways, but what you'll do as far as how I would prepare, always warm up before shows for me. Like I definitely have to. I also have to practice to kind of keep myself in shape. For the first show we had in July, for my first show in 2 years, I had to prepare for that for like 2 months.
Wow.
Like I was in my living room, I was like singing with my like in-ear monitors, like making sure I can move and sing, because breath support is the most important thing on stage. You can't get up there and be out of breath when you're moving. And having been retired for 2 years, I had to. It was work.
And if you want to have a high energy show, you have to move.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You have to move. You can't stand still. So it's listening while I'm doing that. I'm like recording through because I have a wireless mic. I'm like recording the entire time that I'm doing it. I'll have to listen back to it. I'm like, all right, no, that wasn't good. I have to reapproach this. And I do that all the time for even just like minor things. As far as how I would prepare it though, I actually still use classical music as a warm-up. So I would prepare with like some of the classical songs I used to warm up with in school. And they're just like, I'm just fond of them. So that's pretty much it. Like, I think it's Say to Mommy, Sabin Crudele, things like that, because it's just a good way to flex from I would say that I'm mezzo soprano. So I would be like flex from like my lower range to my higher ones. As far as like being a soprano, it is really, really cool. I also do nerdy stuff. So I'll just like sing like Lord of the Rings themes to myself and for my high end, and that's always fun.
Man, that's a hell of a tool to have in your toolbox as a songwriter too, isn't it though? Right? Because if you're writing a song and you know what you're capable of vocally, I feel like that just opens up the page a whole lot more for you, right, as a writer?
Yeah, it's really funny too, because some people will be like, "Oh, you're an alto." I'm like, no, I just did that on purpose.
The way I wrote it. Yep.
Yeah.
It's one of the tools I have, right? And so you talked about Jabari, and this is obviously a long-term songwriting relationship with this person. What is that like, kind of having a teammate in that way, musically?
It's like having someone who can understand your gibberish. So like I can just speak to him like what I'm hearing, and he can like interpret that like unlike any other person. So we've just worked together for so long now as friends that it's just like second nature.
Are you guys able to kind of shore up each other's weaknesses too as songwriters?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what my role is. So he'll give me stuff, and I will listen to it and be like, all right, let's rein this in. I would like this. Give me that in like halftime and let me see if I can place it together. So like I arrange like all of our songs from beginning to end. And I think it's like really cool to like his contributions and like kind of shore them down. I'll be like, just give me a power chord here. I think this will sound better. This is a little too much. Or I'll also speak in gibberish. I try to speak in band is what I call it. Yeah. Because I can't sometimes articulate what I want the guitar tone to be, like as in a way he understands. So I'll give him like a song reference or like a band reference for a specific thing. I'm like, that's what I need it to be. I don't know how they did it, but this is what I want it to be. You know? Yeah.
Man, it's got to be super important to have that sounding board, right? Like, rather than just being alone and trying to figure that out yourself all the time. For sure. How important was it for you as a songwriter to have that background in guitar? Even though you're kind of self-described as not a guitarist, obviously knowing and having that experience to draw back on, that does have to help with your melodies, right?
It does. Actually, I think in terms of guitar too. So like my brain is, I like to say I play better brain guitar than like actual guitar.
Sure. Yeah.
I can think really, really well in terms of guitar. So I will be like, I don't really like how this sounds. And that's pretty much what happens on like a lot of the bridges of our songs. I write most of our bridges. I think the only one I didn't do was maybe like the acoustic-y ones, because people think that like all the pretty stuff is me, and it's actually him. The heavier, chuggy stuff, you know. So it's not me.
the more aggression in that
I'm the more aggressive part.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh, if it's pretty, it came from him. If it's me, it came from me.
It came from me. Yes, it's true. It wasn't him.
Oh man, that's awesome. So, I feel like the creation of a song is twofold, right? You have the songwriting part of it and actually putting the song together, your lyrics and your melody. But then the second half of that is taking that song as a kind of a raw entity and then bringing it to the studio to polish it up and actually finish it. What is it like for you in the studio, as opposed to just being a songwriter? How hands-on or off are you there?
Very when it comes to vocals. Like I love, like, as far as vocal performance, I have a process that, so I definitely like to do like section by section, just to make sure that, like you were saying earlier, I kind of get the perfect inflection, get it right to make it feel how I'm supposed to feel. Like for the Flower and the Serpent, that whole bridge. Did you really think? Like really playing that up. Did you really think? Like that, you have to make sure that it feels real, as I always say, when you're in the studio.
And that's what I was talking about earlier with the vocal ability to deliver a lyric. And I mean, I feel like you are so good at making people feel with that delivery, and that makes you really unique as well. So that is something that's ever evolving for you as an artist, even through the studio process. You're changing different things to do with your vocals.
Even with live, because I'm finding the way that I do something in the studio is not necessarily the way I can do it live.
Sure, yeah.
You know, so it's because that's pretty, you know, sure, maybe if I had like a stadium level tour, you know what I mean? But most of the time, if I'm at like a small club or venue, you're not going to hear it that way.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be reading the room, essentially, and the energy is going to change. And I mean, if the energy changes, then your vocals could change, your playing style could change. There's so much about your art that could change based on the energy of a location. I get that.
That too. But it's also just like the delivery sometimes has to be stronger, or I have to pull it back. So I actually found for that particular song, I do have to sort of play up the breathiness of it. Because otherwise, if I did it live and just did it like pure hearing, it would be, did you really think? And that's ugly. No one wants to hear that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I have to remind myself to like pull the energy back when I sing that part.
And that's why it's important to listen back a lot, isn't it? Yeah. Because what you do in the moment and what you hear after are two different things, right? So then,
they're very different.
Yeah, I love that you're aware of that, man. I love that you're aware of that. That's so cool.
And especially live, like you can think you're doing it right. Like that's why I try to practice with the in-ears, because those are two different worlds. Like you can think it's right when you're doing it, but when you listen back to it, you're like, oh, I'm a little off there. Let me figure out how I can breathe through that better, you know?
Yeah. So cool that you started as a guitar player and being a vocalist was secondary, and you didn't even want to do that at first.
I did not.
Yeah. It's so funny how are you passionate about it now? You look like you're really passionate about vocals.
I am. I found something that I think that I really, really love, despite hating it in the beginning. Before you put a microphone in my face and I'd be like, no, thank you.
Yeah. So as an entertainer, are you you have your introverted side of yourself, don't you? Like I can see it in you.
I do. Yeah. I think that was who I was first. So it's like, but I think as you grow, you learn to like be able to mingle with people. Your first job, all that stuff kind of trains that out of you, but it's still there. Like I'm totally super introverted human in real life, but I'm just good at talking to people. I always have been. It's actually part of my actual job too. So I'm just relatable. It's okay.
Yeah.
To be that, you know, but
good stuff. So you have an EP out. It is The Flower and the Serpent is actually the title track of that EP. So I want people to make sure you get out there and spin it, buy it, do whatever you do with your music. I'm definitely going to put a link in the description below for the EP. Talk a little bit about the struggle that the obvious struggle it takes for an indie rock artist to get noticed today.
So I mean, the thing is, I know it's probably a struggle, but that's not really what I focus on, because I'm really just doing this for me. Like, so
awesome.
You know, and at the end of the day, I'm doing it for like the 15-year-old me who used to like play in her room by herself.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, I'm not good enough to do this sort of thing. I'm all right. You know, I'm not cool. I'm doing it for that same teenager who was at Berkeley. Like, I'm not as good as all these people, you know, and I am like, and I've kind of grown into the fact that I'm good enough to do this. I'm good enough to do my thing that is me. And I'm the best at being me in my own thing. And there's nobody that can take that from me.
So speaking of the teenage you, how would the teenage you feel about 300,000 views or likes or whatever it is on stuff that you're only doing for you, right?
Yeah, I think that it's overwhelming, really, but like it's so cool because I don't think that Teenage Me would have believed I've gotten here. Actually, one of the songs on the EP, I Know You, is kind of about that. The lyrics are literally about that. I don't know if anyone has truly gotten that, but like one person. But in that song, I'm literally talking to myself, and it's like, the main lyric that's important to me there is they can't hurt us anymore, and so it's like, yeah, and so it's like, what is the chorus? I wrote it and I'm not even remembering it, but it's like but it's like, I know you, my wounds are just the same, I see you underneath the pain, and they can't hurt us anymore.
Yeah, just not just the viewership too, right? Like you're an award-winning singer-songwriter now. Best hard rock metal artist, and I mean, you can't do better than that. Like, there are people who are giving you awards, and there are people who are consuming your art over and over again, it looks like. And I can't even imagine, as a fan of yours, what that's like. It's gonna be cool.
It's very cool. Like, I get people asking me, "Oh, hey, can I like put this in something?" I'm like, "Yes, by all means." Sure.
It makes it easy to say yes to things like that when you're just when you expected to be the only one consuming it, right?
For sure. Yeah. Like, I didn't think anybody, like, I'm doing this for me. Even all those videos I made, the acoustic sessions, I'm like, yeah, this is for me. This is for me because I want the world to know I could do this.
Yeah.
And I've always had the ability to do this, even when I didn't believe I could do this. So this is for me. That whole, like, even the video that like most people probably know us for the Flower and the Serpent, that wasn't supposed to be a thing either. So prior to the viral video, we had like a B-roll video that like is really doing the numbers of like, that's getting us all the followers. But it was B-roll, and I don't think anybody understands that it was never meant to be like a music video. It was literally just, the person who filmed the video was like, hey, this is really cool. I'm just going to let you guys have this. And I was like, can I have it? And he was like, yeah. Like, I was like, okay. And then we put it up, and that same video is today, like, how we're gaining followers, how we're doing everything. And it's just like, it wasn't supposed to be a thing.
Yeah. What I love about the whole situation is a lot of times when an artist, or really anybody, it doesn't even have to be an artist, whenever somebody goes viral, and they taste that, almost that instant fame or that instant notoriety, the pressure becomes instant to create that virality again and again and again. And what I love about you is, like, there is nothing after that, right? Like, you're not openly... I don't see you openly trying to become another, to create another viral moment. No. I'm sure if it happens for you, you'll take it, but
I'll take it.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're not openly chasing it, though, and that says a lot about you.
That sounds like a hard life, and that I don't want. I really don't want to do that. I want to have fun and enjoy myself, so that's what I'm gonna do. And what I feel like is, you will get cool stuff when it's ready.
Yep.
And if you like it, cool. If you don't, that's also fine.
Right. Good stuff, man. Let me ask you this. What are some things you enjoy doing outside of music? What are some hobbies you have?
Probably video games. And I've always done that with my cousins and like my friends. So that's where that's how I discover a lot of music. But yeah, video games. I play video games with our friends in the band.
What's your favorite game right now?
My favorite game right now? I'm not playing any right now. I think that I need to. I'm really looking forward to Borderlands, though.
Hey, Borderlands 4, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Man,
I feel it's kind of dry.
Yeah, doesn't it feel like they've kind of
really dry.
Yeah. Really. Man, like I'm a BR kind of guy. I love PUBG and like the battle royales, and I'm really hoping.
Like you're doing like Marvel Rivals and stuff. Is that how you're feeling right now?
That's not really a battle royale. That's more of a like out like an Overwatch type of game. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I'm too old for all that stuff happening at one time.
Ugh.
I don't know where to point my gun most of the time for those. Like, you put me in PUBG, I hear a sound, I point my gun at it. That's just the way it is. But like with Battlefield 6 coming out, man, that
I've
battle
heard
royale
that
looks okay.
Battlefield looks good. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm hoping
I've heard people say that.
I hope it's okay, man. We desperately need better games nowadays. You're saying you're right. It's very dry right now.
It's a little dry right now.
Yeah,
It's fine.
come on,
We'll
come
find
on,
something.
come on, developers, give us something good.
Give us something nice.
Speaking of something good, that's called a perfect segue. Let's talk about the second song that you're gonna that we have on here. It's called "Alive." Tell us about this song.
Oh, sure. The funny part about this one is I thought it was like when I wrote it, I was like, we just needed this was probably the worst one. It's just gonna be like a weird commercial-ish one. But I was like, I did not like this song compared to the other three. So it's really funny that it's technically the second most streamed song that I have from that EP.
Yeah.
But it goes to show we can be wrong.
So this was the one that you were kind of tongue-in-cheek trying to be commercial with.
Yeah.
That's funny. Because my note right
funny.
after the song is talking about the balance between creative and commercial. And we'll talk about that right after you guys listen to the song. It's called "Alive." You'll check it out.
Give me peace or give me death in the arms of a murderer. No, I've never been ashamed to be a rebel. Cause you thought that I'd be so easy, no one believes me. But I've got narcissistic tendencies. They come alive, no warning. They come alive if you get too close. They come alive. And you can't escape me this time. Thought I'd be your perfect doll, but now I'm the enemy, and you're still so oblivious to my betrayal. Well, I'm sure that you had your reasons to play with my feelings, but I've got very little sympathy. They come alive, no warning. They come alive if you get too close. They come alive. And you can't escape me this time. Of all of the lies you tell, my favorite one is you wishing me well. Just don't cry when your face hits the pavement. Of all of the lies you tell, my favorite one is you wishing me well. Just don't cry when your face hits the pavement. They come alive, no warning. They come alive if you get too close. They come alive when they come alive.
All right, so we're back with the one and only Samiah here on the Boston Chris podcast for the first time ever. And let's talk about that, the balance and the struggle between being creative and also being commercial. I imagine it doesn't really bother you that much since you're only doing this for yourself.
No.
But do you think of it like, trying to be commercial as well?
I kind of just I knew that structurally it was very simple and easy, and I think compared to the other three songs lyrically, it was just the most easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cookie cutter ish.
I was gonna say cookie cutter, but I wasn't gonna. I don't want to offend.
It's cookie cutter
Yeah.
one, so I was just whatever. But.
So how does it make you feel as an artist when something like that you put together kind of is almost like a joke? And then it does very well, right? Like as an artist, what do? You just
I laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say you internally chuckle at it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I laugh at it mostly because it's funny. But like, I mean, sure.
At the end of the day, though, that song is helping bring people to the other songs that did matter, right?
Exactly. So I mean, I win. I guess I didn't lose. It's a win-win.
I love it.
Like,
good stuff, man. So we have a having fun segment or segments here on the show, which we kind of use as TikToks and Reels and things to create buzz for the show. There's about 8 or 9 of them. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with these. The first one is called Did You Know? So can you tell us something that folks don't know about Samiah?
sure. What don't you know? Let me see if I can find anything I haven't told anyone before. 'Cause I feel like I'm an open book. It's really hard. Let me think. What do you not know about me? Oh, well, that's kind of lame. But I feel like I have songs, like I dream songs, right? Okay. So like I dream stuff and then I'll wake up and record like a voice note of it. And so that is an ability I have. And then I'll write songs and then realize it was something that like happened or like later. Like Jabari always thinks that I'm strange for this. So I'll write a song like alive, and then later it turns out that it's relevant to like something that happens in the future that I didn't know would happen. And I'm like, I don't know what these lyrics mean when I'm writing it. It's just a thing. And then later it's like weird, and Jabari thinks I'm weirdly psychic for it.
That's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
in case you didn't know, one of the most famous songs of all time, Yesterday by the Beatles, Paul McCartney wrote that from a dream.
See, it's
Just woke up
real.
with the melody in his head, and you know, the do 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 do. So what he did is he wrote down just like some placeholder lyrics. He said, "Scrambled eggs, oh how I like your legs." So he wrote those lyrics down just to hold the melody in place. And then he just kind of figured that he must have heard this somewhere and was just recreating a song that already existed. So it just stayed in his notes for like over a year before he finally wrote the song. Crazy,
Dude, I have
right?
hundreds of them. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's how pretty much all my songs start like that. Like not as a dream necessarily. The dream ones are special.
Yeah.
But like definitely like melody first, and I'll just hear it and I'm like, I have to record this. It's in my brain.
Yeah. All right, next one's called Mount Rushmore. As you know, the real Mount Rushmore has 4 presidents on it. Who is on Samiah's Mount Rushmore of favorite artists? Your 4 favorite artists.
I can only pick 4. Okay, let's see. What 4 are like a huge amalgamation of me? Let's see. So definitely you have to put Amy Lee up there from Evanescence. I would definitely say Brandon Boyd from Incubus has to be there. He's like one of my favorite songwriters. Ooh, last 2 spots. Who can I do this? Okay, Haley Williams for sure.
Okay.
I have to give it to her. Okay, what's another? What are albums? Okay, think non-skips. Albums that are non-skips. What can I do? Like, what can I do? Okay, non-skips. Oh, okay. This is hard. Okay. Which one should be more? Okay. Probably Edging It Out, because I'm a nerd. I'm gonna have to do My Chemical Romance.
Let's go.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Soldier Art Way for sure.
Great foursome. Yeah, that's good. All right, next segment's called What the Heck? This is 5 rapid-fire questions, and you have to tell me whatever hits your brain first, okay? No change in your mind.
Jeez.
All right.
No. Okay.
All right, number 1, have you ever tripped on stage, and if so, how did you play it off as cool?
No.
You've
But I
never
would
tripped on
probably-
stage.
No, but if I did, I would fall and laugh.
Okay. Just make it part of the show. What you do,
Yeah.
right, is you teach your band. You tell them, if you ever see me fall on stage, I need you guys, the rest of y'all, to fall. Period.
That would be great.
Because I've seen that happen. A friend of mine named Caitlin Butts tripped over her wire one time, and she just kind of felt like, she didn't fall all the way, but she kind of did like a little movement. And then the rest of the band all did the same thing almost immediately. It was the funniest thing.
Funny. I'm telling them that for sure now.
Yeah. All right, number 2, do you have a song with a person's name in the title?
No.
All right, number 3. Let me see here. What is no big deal for most people, but absolute torture to you?
Absolute torture. The screeching sound from like shoes in basketball.
Oh, okay.
I hate that.
It's like nails on a chalkboard, isn't
I
it?
cannot do
Yeah.
it.
I got you. Yeah, I'm there with you. And I used to play basketball, and I hated that. So there you go. All right, number 4. Do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
No.
Okay. Wow, that's going to be pretty controversial, I think.
I'm sorry, dude. No,
All right.
it doesn't.
Last one, number 5. What is the funniest thing you have ever wore?
Funniest thing I've ever wore. Probably like when I was a teenager, I used to have like this little blue like shortcut wig that I used to wear. I wore it for a while before I dyed my ends of my hair blue. So that was probably the funniest thing. Eventually, I did really dye my hair blue, so it was for a reason.
I used to have lower back length purple hair.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
let
I
me
had
tell
to
you
test
what,
it out.
that was a lot of work. Because, I mean, it was a lot of hair. I mean, a lot. So, and that wasn't that long ago either. I was old already. All right.
It's a lot of work to keep the color too. I'm just
Yeah,
like, ugh,
it really
I
is.
can't.
It took
You know,
us
like-
it took us a good year or two just to find a good product. You know?
It's really hard.
Yeah. All right, next segment is called One Artist. Who is one artist besides yourself that you wish the entire world knew about?
That I wish the entire world knew about. Who's an underrated artist? I guess I could go with one that I also found on TikTok. So I think that her name, I hope I say it right, is like Eka Vandal, but she has like this really cool song called Cruising right now. And I was like, this is so cool. It's like, it's reminiscent of like early era, like Nirvana stuff.
Okay.
It's really, really cool.
There's so many cool artists on TikTok, man. For those of you that are following my show and you're not on TikTok, you are missing out on an unending supply of cool people trying to make it. There's so like I can scroll for 20 minutes and find 14 artists that I like, honestly. Anyway, next one's called Wish List. This is going to be interesting to me because you're not really doing this to be successful, but what are some things that you hope to do? Like, what are some things on your wish list as an artist?
I just want to play some stages that I saw my favorites play on. Like, I definitely want to just kind of kick off my bucket list, like playing at Paradise Rock Club, like just kicking off playing some stuff that like I've seen really cool bands play, like really cool venues, not even huge stadiums or anything, just in every city. You know, I want to make sure that for me is a win. Like I don't care much to be like famous. I just want to play and have people come to my shows. So the fact that we played for the first time in a long time in July and had like 30 people show up was like literally so cool. And some people were like, yeah, I found you online. And I was like, what, really? And you came all the way here? And it's like that's what I care about.
Yeah,
like truly.
And that's badass. And the way I look at that, right, there's going to be people out there that are going to be like, 30 people? Really? You're excited about that? But here's the way you look at that, at least for me personally. Those 30 people could do any frickin' thing else they want that night on the planet.
For
Literally.
sure. It was anything. A Monday.
Yeah.
Monday.
So, like, I stream video games. You talk about gaming. I stream video games and did it for a long time as a living. And, like, you have 14 people watching. That's, like, crazy talk to me. Like, you know? There are people. There are 14 people out there watching me right now, when they could literally do anything else in the world. And there are people that will troll me because I only have 14 people watching.
But see, that's the thing. Like you said earlier, everybody starts somewhere. Yep. And like for me to get that many people to come out as someone who hasn't done shows in 2 years, like imagine like how I was just like so stoked, you know?
Yeah. Again, like I said, those people could do literally anything, right? And they're there. So that's what's up, man. I think that's huge. Next one's called Biggest Lesson. What do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned directly from music so far?
I think the biggest lesson is to really trust in myself. Like trust in myself and my own process, because I'm not going to lie to you, 99% of the time, like, not to like sound like a jerk, but I am right about my initial like feelings or thoughts about how something should be. And I don't want that to be swayed by like somebody else's vision. Even in like just like professional settings, some people who don't know me well, that maybe aren't my friends or like my band members, will be like, oh, you should add like more pop elements into this. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going for. Like, you're respectfully incorrect. You know what I mean? Because
nobody knows you better than you. right?
Right. And I think that that's like, people don't understand. They'll be like, you should do X, Y, Z, and like maybe aim to go in this direction. And I'm like, no, I think the direction I'm going is right.
Yeah. Because I mean, at the end of the day, people are going to know if you're faking it. People are going to know if
Right.
you're not passionate about it, right? So, yeah, do you, man? That's the way it is. Just I mean, nobody can do Samiah like Samiah. So,
No. And Samiah cares about, I prefer smaller, intimate shows as an introvert. So that's fine. If I
Yeah.
can eventually sell out a show, pack out some people, and y'all just come and hang out with me and see me, that's what matters to me
Yeah.
personally. And I
That's-
think if I'm meant to do the other stuff, that'll come from just that.
yeah,
You know
and
what I
that
mean?
just boils down to don't let anybody else define your own success, right? Like,
Exactly.
only you can know whether you're successful or not.
No, and I mean, even if I wanted to think about it, like, why would I want to just like go up to a stadium level without earning my stripes to be there? You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Yeah. I
Like-
love that. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, next one's called Moment of Gravity. Can you look back in time and kind of see a moment or an event in your life that kind of propelled you on the path that you're on right now? It's kind of the one moment in time that led you to where you are now as an artist.
Yes. It's a twofold moment, I guess. It's the same moment, but like 2 different days. But basically what happened when I was 18, I was that kid that used to bring my guitar to school. The school was auditioning for a musical. And I decided, I literally said to myself, if I can actually sing, then I'd get in this musical. So I prepared a song. I was like, if I'm meant to sing, I'll get in here as a vocalist. And I actually did get into the musical as a vocalist. And I think the musical at the time for the school was like Hairspray. So I got in as like a singer, and I played one of those, like, what do you call them? I don't remember the name of them, but they're the 3 girls in dresses. And I was singing, and I was like, man, I guess I'm a singer now. And that went on to shortly after, because I think that was my senior year, me applying for Berkeley. And I remember applying, my mom was like, I don't know, like, you're probably like a better like dancer and stuff than you are a singer. And I was like, no, respectfully, you're wrong now. And I'm believing that. I looked at my grandma, I was like, should I do this? She was like, you should do it. And I went there and I just sang and I got in.
I love it, man. It was a great choice. Definitely a great choice. I don't know about your dancing ability, but I can hear your vocals, so.
Thank you.
Next
I don't
one's-
think I was that good of a dancer. I think it's just my mom.
I don't know, man. Like I said, your vocals are kind of otherworldly, so I can't imagine your dancing's
Thank
anywhere
you.
close. You're welcome. Next one's called Grateful. What are the 3 things you are most grateful for?
So I guess it's gonna be weird, but I kind of am grateful in a way that I grew up in, like, as an outcast, because I think as hard as it was, it's what gives me the edge in the music that I write. You know, it's that little edge or twinge of like darkness or introvertedness that you guys feel in what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And that is what fuels a lot of how I write and what I do. And even though I'm much better now and like a much happier person, that is what I draw upon every time to make people feel something, you know?
Yep. Love that. All right, last segment. This might be the hardest one to answer, too, for an artist.
Sure.
The segment is called Who Do You Think You Are? Who is Samiah?
Well, I am a loser who has learned her power, if that makes sense.
It sure does, man. I love that. A loser that has found her power.
Yeah.
And what is your power?
It is vocal ability. It's the ability to tell stories and sing and perform. You know what I mean? I'm a loser that brought a guitar to school and nobody wanted to be friends with, that was like different music than everybody else. But ultimately, I turned into the thing I dreamed to be. And that's pretty much why I do this, even without trying to be famous, because 15-year-old me needs to see this. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Man, it's Samiah from Samiah Band, and I want to let everybody know how to follow along with this young lady. I'm such a huge fan of yours, and I think you're going to do much better than you are expecting. Honestly, I really do. Be ready for opportunities, because I think they're coming for you. But anyway, to follow along, guys, it's SamiahBand.com. You can see the spelling of her name on your screen, but I'm going to spell it out for those of you who are listening rather than watching. It is Samiah. Just put the word band at the end of that for her website.com. The websites, the social medias are all pretty much the same as that. It's at Samiah Band everywhere that I know of. I think it's the same on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at the very least. So you got all your branding put together, which is good and uniform. Thank you so much again for doing this. I hope you had a good time. I did. Tell people the best way from your perspective for them to support you as an artist.
Sure. Definitely follow all the things you said. If you wanted to follow me specifically, you can. And my Instagram is It's Maya Okay, ITSMIAH okay. And yeah, I would love to see some of you guys there too. Talk to me. I talk to people all the time, and even just about music. I have people that I talk to, and we geek out over Bad Omen songs and releases. It's fine. I'm a human person first, and that's what I want everybody to know.
Hey, this is Rich O'Toole, and thank you for tuning in to the Boston Chris Show.